I think that there's no new capital coming into the space right now. Now, if we think of it in terms of broader macro picture, the business cycle is only just picking up. Earnings are just picking up for companies. So we're not flush with cash in the real economy. Yes, some stocks have gone up and crypto's gone up, but not all crypto either, as we know. There's been quite a decent amount of divergence as there is over the crypto spring. So it is going to have to come from the ETF. And then it'll be all-time highs is going to be the driver.
The SEC has approved a rule change Thursday that would pave the way for ETFs that buy and hold Ether, one of the world's largest cryptocurrencies. The decision comes less than 6 months after the Securities and Exchange Commission approved Bitcoin ETFs. Those funds have proven to be a big success for the industry, with net inflows already surpassing $12 billion, according to FactSet. The SEC has taken a significant step towards approving an Ethereum spot ETF. Real Vision co-founder and CEO Raoul Pal joins us to discuss the key narratives and drivers influencing digital asset prices. The SEC recently approved 819B4 filings, but these funds still need to pass another scrutiny stage for the S1 documents to be reviewed. Many of the companies that sponsor Bitcoin ETFs, including BlackRock, Bitwise, and Galaxy Digital, have also started the process of launching an Ether fund. Raoul Pal finds it interesting that while we all anticipated this development, now that it has occurred, he's eager to see how BlackRock will frame the narrative around it. According to Bloomberg ETF analyst Eric Balchunas, newly approved spot Ethereum exchange-traded funds might enter the market by mid-June. Meanwhile, ETF analyst James Seyffart observed that decisions made with delegated authority are common, and that requesting a review would probably not alter the outcome. The price of Ether increased by just 2%, despite a 20% surge earlier in the week in anticipation of Thursday's decision. According to Raoul Pal, the approval of the ETF will likely be the key driver for the next phase, pushing Bitcoin to new all-time highs. This milestone is expected to trigger a chain reaction. Bitcoin reaching all-time highs will propel ETH, revitalize NFTs, initiate altcoin season, and recycle capital. Ready to uncover more insights? Remember to subscribe and turn on notifications always to get our latest content.
What is interesting to me, we all knew it was going to happen, but now it's happened. But they're going to reframe all of this for the public. And it can't be, oh, it's another cryptocurrency, because that's not going to sell. Because people say, we've got Bitcoin. I think that there's no new capital coming into the space right now. Now, if we think of it in terms of broader macro picture, the business cycle is only just picking up. Earnings are just picking up for companies. So we're not flush with cash in the real economy. Yes, some stocks have gone up and crypto's gone up, but not all crypto either, as we know. There's been quite a decent amount of divergence as there is over the crypto spring. So it is going to have to come from the ETF. And then it'll be all-time highs is going to be the driver. In fact, all you need actually is Bitcoin to hit all-time highs, then Sol will go, ETH will go. I think that brings NFTs alive. It brings alt season. It recycles capital. It brings those 80 million dead Coinbase accounts back into activity. That whole great cycle that happens in crypto summer and crypto autumn is yet to play out. I mean, don't forget, we're still basically in the middle of the pandemic when we go back to the last cycle. We're not quite, we hadn't really started anything yet. Bitcoin was just breaking 10,000 after having consolidated. So I think the most overused phrase in crypto is we're so early, but we're early in the cycle. So yeah, we just need fresh capital. Liquidity, there was a liquidity withdrawal I think we talked about it last week because of the tax stuff. We'll see liquidity starting to come back in. Yellen should normally inject about 250 billion of liquidity. Now she's had the tax receipts in. Before you know it, now there's less QT, liquidity comes in. It all starts happening. So patience, I think, is the answer.
Yeah, that's fair. I agree with that.
I think so. I think it'll all play out, and I think ETH will outperform Bitcoin. Solana outperforms ETH. The risk curve works in the normal way, and there'll be whatever the bonkers side looks like. It'll be the memes. This side will be the stupid, crazy end of the market this time around. The NFTs were last time around, and it'll just function normally as a risk curve. I think we're very close to that moment. Super close.
In an X post, cryptocurrency lawyer James Murphy, known as MetaLawman, said the SEC is in deep trouble with its lawsuits against some crypto firms because the agency's approval of the Ethereum ETFs finalized the debate of Ether being a commodity. Since the collapse of FTX in November 2022, the crypto industry has made some efforts to shore up safer practices for storing customers' digital assets, arguing for clearer regulation. The U.S. president remains the last barrier to recalling the problematic anti-crypto resolution by the SEC. Pal touched on the political implications. referencing the challenge Elizabeth Warren faced in building an anti-crypto movement. He argued that millions of people are motivated by their financial future and understand the power of these technologies, making it difficult to oppose them. Now let's redirect our attention to a video.
All of us who've been in the financial system know that every single bank and asset management firm is working on this. I mean, Goldman's had a team since 2015. So what they wanted was the regulatory clarity, which is what Fink has forced through.
Yeah.
So the explosion of innovation that's about to happen from the finance system itself, I think, is the shock. It's not going to come from NFTs and all of the stuff that we all do. It's going to come straight from the heart of the financial system. And before you know it, they're tokenizing everything, as Larry said, and they've all been desperate for this. You know, Wall Street will have lobbied for this because it saves so much money. It's like, I keep explaining a story to everybody that I think is super valuable for people to understand. Because a friend of mine was running fixed income, currencies, commodities, and treasury at National Australia Bank. And he's just retired. And I'm like, well, what have you been up to last few years? He goes, I've been building stable coins. I'm like, why? He goes, yeah, in euros, in Aussie dollar stable coins, euro, Aussie, euro, US, euro, whatever, Canadian, UK. I'm like, why? He's like, nobody realizes. I think it's next week. Fucking US goes T+1 equity settlement.
Wow.
FX markets are T+2.
Yeah.
Australia is T+3 because of the time zone. He's like, we're going to have to give tens of billions of dollars to our brokers to settle trades. And that takes from our regulatory capital, and they'll offer us zero interest rates on it. So we're forced to use stable coins. I'm like, oh, of course. That's a massive use case. I think Canada goes to T+1, and I don't know, the UK and Europe are as well. So that's a big deal, just simply from that. Somebody said, good luck, Elizabeth Warren, in building an anti-crypto army. You're going up against millions of people who are motivated by their own future, the financial future, and they understand the power of memes. It's like, that is very difficult to go up against.
Yeah.
And Trump saw that, and I think the Democrats are learning very fast that, there's 110 million Coinbase accounts, of which, I don't know what's active now, call it 10, 15 million are active, but in the height of the bull market by next year, be 40 million plus. You are not going to piss off those people and tell them they can't have a financial future and win an election. Zero chance.
Eyes are currently on the second biggest cryptocurrency, as U.S. regulators are deciding on whether to approve the first Ether spot ETFs in the country. Bloomberg analyst James Seyffart predicts that spot Ether ETFs could attract about 20% of the flows seen by spot Bitcoin ETFs. Balchunas offers a more conservative estimate of 10 to 15%. Standard Chartered expects the SEC to approve Ether ETFs this week, according to the block. The first round of spot Ether ETF deadlines is approaching, with VanEck on May 23rd and ARK Invest 21 shares on May 24th. We welcome your insights in the comments section below. If you found this content valuable, don't hesitate to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to stay informed. Thank you for joining us on this journey.